Okay, everybody. So if you saw part A, you heard Eric Adams of NYC in New York City. You heard him say it's that he thinks people maybe don't understand it's a crisis. It's a crisis. We definitely understand it's a crisis, sir. But it looks like the only crisis that he's willing to address are for people who are illegal immigrants. The American people definitely understand it's a crisis. That's why we are upset and we are concerned. You don't call this person here. What if this is an American citizen? Born here, fell in hard times. I'm sure if you're working, you pay taxes at some point in time. We definitely see it as a crisis. But it appears to me he seems more concerned with addressing the crisis of the illegal immigrants, of the migrants. What about the American citizens, the ones that voted for you, the one that pay taxes? Maybe they fell in hard times. Maybe they've lost a lot of money. You think? It happens. So now we've seen them, if you're not new to the channel, living in trying to sleep inside the ATM locations where the banks are. That's very unsettling. You want to go and get some cash, you go inside and someone's in there sleeping with their belongings. You don't know if the person might pop up and just try to grab your money. Because they're not there because they're financially sound. People get desperate. So now they've resorted to what? Living inside of the airport. And that's very unsettling. Hate to say it, not to be a Debbie Downer, but just be realistic. People get that desperate crime. So I thought about it. Next thing you know, how do you know a person like that homeless? They may just start grabbing bags. Just grab a bag and then just go through it, grabbing luggage. What are you gonna do? This is not good for the airport. It's not. It's just not. And the sad thing is not good to reduce people to this. They're so desperate. Having to seek shelter in the airport. I never heard of it. I've never seen it. Now having to seek shelter in the airport. So for the Americans, yeah, it's definitely a crisis. So sleeping on the sidewalk, sleeping in the subways, now sleeping in the airports, sleeping in the ATM machine locations. For the American taxpayer that's fallen hard times, it's definitely a crisis. I just want to know what he's going to do about it. What are the politicians doing? Are they earning their keep? Okay, you got the votes, so now what? You've gotten the votes, so what are they doing? Sleeping on the shuttle buses. This is sleeping on subways. It's crazy. So we definitely understand it's a crisis, but I just don't see anyone addressing the issue. And in this first video here, you heard the lady, look, another person here on the subway. And you know it's cold, especially in New York. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine Chicago. Chicago has a bitter cold. Oh, the wind chill is unbelievable. And as you heard this woman say, she was in a shelter. What do you mean there's no heat? No hot water? No heat? I'm sorry? But let me guess. Maybe that's the shelter that's housing mainly the Americans. No heat? And he wants to talk about it's a crisis. It makes no sense. And again, I do believe this was all for votes. It makes no sense. We have a crisis here in America. More companies are laying off. I thought tech was done. Think again, girlfriend. Tech is not done. Tech's still laying off. They made that announcement as of Monday. And yesterday, tech's going to still have some more layoffs. More companies, businesses are laying off. More businesses are having to lay off people so they can stay afloat. They're in business to make money, not to be somebody's friend. So this here, it's a crisis. Yeah, we fully understand that. We fully understand that. But Mayor Adams, what are you going to do about it? I wonder if he understands it's a crisis for the American people. I mean, this is crazy. And we're again, what's the plan? Housing these people, they're in the hotels. As I understand, they are in 14 hotels throughout that location, like in the Bronx area. What's the plan for how long? Why aren't the Americans, the taxpayers, in those hotels? Maybe just for the Dems? Is this just the agenda? And leave the Americans by the wayside? Somebody tell me. I would really like to know, what is the plan? How long are the illegal immigrants going to stay in the hotels? And then, I mean, are they looking for jobs now? What is the plan? Because many jobs are cutting. They're cutting their staff. Not there's not like a big hiring event that's going to happen. What is the plan? So after a period of time, are we going to have where, okay, these illegal immigrants that migrated here came through that border? I mean, heck, it's open borders. Why not? Free food, a place to live. Who wouldn't take it? Come on. What is going to happen? At one point, do you turn the spigot off? And I haven't heard, despite all this, I haven't heard about any stimulus packages for these Americans. They need the darn money. I don't care about any stimmy for me. That's not, $1,400. That's a nice change, but it's not gonna be, oh my God. And I'm not a wealthy person, no. We need a stimulus package. I don't need, I'm not saying for myself, no. I'm saying for these people, we need to give them some major ass money. This is bull crap. This is just not acceptable. We got money for everybody else, but not for the American poor. What is the plan? So at what point do you turn the spigot off? When are the illegal immigrants going to get it together? And then if they do, where are they going to go? So you're going to have a homeless population, and then you're going to have at some point in time, again, what's the plan? I don't see it besides Democratic votes. At some point in time, when will the wallet, the financial spigot turn off? We cannot keep on paying $20,000. That was just, don't forget, that's just one hotel at the Row NYC. I'm hearing now they're just charging $500 a night. Wow. We can't afford that. We have American people that are suffering. So what's the plan? We have a nightmare, a powder keg is coming. I do believe that because at some point in time, we cannot continue to just house these people like this here. We can't even house our own people. So then when those people are like, hey, the dole has stopped, the party's over, what are they going to do? We're going to have more homeless. There are reports now of homeless people knocking on people's doors, residences, asking for food and clothing. Can you imagine? You open your door, there's strangers that migrated here want food and clothing. You gotta be kidding me. I wouldn't answer the door. I'd be terrified because stop and think. At some point, if the people don't get what they need, and they may be getting some help, as I understand, but at some point, it's going to get a little irrational. So now we're going to have a lot of Americans that are homeless, inflation. I definitely believe a recession. More jobs are laying off. So a lot of Americans, we're going to increase our homeless population among the working Americans who are already check to check. They say most people, not even 1,000, that's scary, don't even have $400 as emergency money. And this is ridiculous. So we'll have more homeless Americans with more of these layoffs coming, and they're hitting the tech middle class as well. That job paying you $200K is going to be bye, bye, bye. It's going to be gone. And then what? There's the replacement income. You know what's going to happen. So what happens when the money turns off? This is taxpayer dollars where you can't collect much taxes when the jobs are closing down. So then you're going to have a high, you're going to increase your database for America's working people, the citizens' homelessness. That's going to increase. Then you got all these immigrants that you bought here because I'm thinking, in my opinion, you wanted you some votes. But what about the votes you already got? The votes that put you in office for the American taxpayers. What are you going to do to earn those votes? That's what I want to know. You what about getting new votes? But see, they know people that's going to vote, that's just vote blue, especially minority populations. They've been doing it for decades. That's just what they do. Just vote blue. Are you getting anything for it? So the red is no better. Life is business, better think accordingly. So what's going to happen? Are we going to continuously pay for the illegal immigrants? I mean, you got them here, open border. What happens? Are they going to all miraculously get jobs? So what happens when those people, you can't keep this up anymore? Americans don't have jobs, illegal immigrants don't have jobs. Man, you're going to have homelessness to the 10th power. It's not going to be a good look. It's already expanding now. I mean, whoever thought the airport? I'm sorry. Never in my life have I seen that. 14 hotels. So I don't think he understands. But I get the agenda. Pretty much the American taxpayer, thanks for your vote. You're not getting nothing for it, especially if you're at the bottom, just trying to survive. If you can't afford your rent, this might be your new place right here on the subway, maybe on a shuttle. What are they doing for the American people? I would really like to know. Look at this person here in the airport on a concrete floor, posted up with a few snacks. And if you know that's dinner, you're just trying to eat to survive. It's unhealthy. But we have people who have never paid a dime sitting up in hotels. Catered food. Don't forget the food is delivered now. And they don't want that. Wow. Ingrate. So, Mayor Adams, you're right. It is a crisis for the American taxpayer. The rent is out of control. Food prices, gas prices, it's still kind of expensive. And jobs, more cuts, more cuts. I just see it as you're literally snatching people's livelihoods away from them, just their lifestyle, the basics, food, shelter. So, yeah, it's a crisis, Mayor Adams. For the American taxpayer, for the Americans that voted for you, I would like to know, Mayor Adams, what are you going to do? Let me know what your thoughts are. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Simply said here on YouTube, this is just not acceptable. It's just not. And I'm out.